Hey YouTube, this is me, Tappy70, and today I'm doing a video on Dark Souls, and most of you might be thinking, what the hell is Dark Souls? And it is a really fun, really hard, really challenging game. It is just insanity with a bunch of hoopla, and yeah. Well, we're here at the Sunlight Altar, and today I'm going to tell you guys what scaling is all about. And scaling, it's one of the hardest things done. Well, I guess not one of the hardest things, but for new players, it can be difficult to understand what different scaling is about and whatever, you know. But today I'm going to explain it. Okay. Now we'll go to my Baller Swag sword here. It doesn't really have anything going for it. It's just a random thing I picked out of nothing. Okay, its physical damage is 80 plus 36. Now, the 80 is the sword's physical damage, what it does on its own, without any sort of, what do you call it? Without any sort of scaling whatsoever. And there are 3 parts to a weapon's damage. Now, there's the sword's physical damage that it does already. There is scaling. Actually, there are 4 parts. Sword's physical damage, scaling, buffs, and resistances. Now, first, the sword's physical damage. Alright, that is the 80. It will always stay 80. That is what it does. Now, oh, sorry. I got lost in thought there. Now, the next thing is scaling. And that is the 36 right there, the plus 36. But you might be thinking, well, how do you get that to scale? Now, you'll see down below, at the param bonus, right under that, there's an E and there's a B, next to the strength and dexterity skills. Now, the closer you get to A on the alphabet with those, means that that weapon will basically... Sorry, excuse me, I just had dinner and it's coming back up already. The closer you get to A on that scale is the higher the sword's attack will go up. That plus 36 is how much damage that it actually goes up. And if you scale a weapon with Titanite shards by upgrading it, like the Black Knight sword, actually, let's not do the Black Knight sword. Let's do the Uchi-Katana plus 10. Now, the higher you actually upgrade that, the more you will actually get out of it. Its param bonus is B in dexterity. I have a lot of dexterity, by the way. I have 25 in dexterity, which you can't see, but it's off to the right there. But the physical is 180. And the higher the physical attack, the more actual scaling you'll actually get out of the weapon. Now, if you have something like, if you upgrade that into a lightning Uchi-Katana, you won't have scaling anymore. It'll have additional lightning damage. And it's good, but it's not really that good, but it's alright. I mean, it's not bad. But the only thing you'll have to worry about is like lightning resistant enemies, which don't really do any much that way because the Uchi-Katana actually has a pretty good attack. Anyway, in physical damage. But moving on. Let me see. We talked about scaling. What else is there? Oh yeah, buffs. Alright. A buff is like a ring like the Hornet Ring. Boost critical attacks, which is basically your backstabs. That's not really important. Or the Red Tearstone Ring. Now, Red Tearstone Ring boosts attack when your HP is low. That is basically a buff right there in itself. It boosts your attack. I'm not sure how much by, but it will boost your attack. And Blue Tearstone Ring boosts your defense. And that is basically a buff. Another buff that you can have is the Great Magic Weapon, which I am showing off right now, which makes your thing go blue. And, shit, hold on. I need to revive these enemies so I can show this off. Alright, here's one swing from the Uchigatana without an upgrade. 203 damage. Not bad. Now let's put a Great Magic Weapon on there. 287. Now that pretty much brought it up like about 80 points with the Great Magic Weapon. Now that is pretty darn good. Now what if we two-hand it? 340. Now, two-handing basically ups your damage by a little bit more, and the Great Magic Weapon definitely will help if you don't have any weapons with boosts on them. And, yeah. Like, say if I was facing lightning-resistant enemies and I had a Lightning Uchigatana, I would switch to something like, I don't know, something like, fuck. Like, say if I had a, well, let's just say if I had, like, an awesome spear or something, I would definitely switch to that spear and use a Great Magic Weapon on it and basically up that spear to pass that place. Now, I don't do that a lot because I basically, Lightning Uchigatana is my favorite weapon, and it still beats pretty much everything. I'm just saying that. It's my favorite weapon. I'm totally biased on that. Whatever. I don't care. But, yeah. Boosts like Great Magic Weapon, all those other things. Ring, you know, just whatever. Basically, just upgrading your weapon in general. The last thing I have to talk about is, resistances. And, resistances are basically, they're basically, like, say, my, sword, it does, let me see, 266 damage. Now you'll notice that whenever I hit this guy that's on the ground, it only did, like, about just 200 damage. 203 damage. Alright? Now, what that means is he has a resistance to some physical, he has resistance to my physical damage. And, I don't know really how to calculate physical damage from, or anything really. I don't know how to calculate any of the resistances in this game, because it's really kind of hard. But, yeah, now, one way to figure out how much actual damage your weapon does before calculating resistances is come over here to View Status. You'll see that right weapon 1, that's 266 damage. Alright? And right weapon 2 is like your side weapon, which I have a bow. And, you'll also see left weapon 1, left weapon 2. That's basically like your shield and, or even your staff if you have a staff or in that hand. It doesn't really matter though. Don't worry about it too much usually. But you'll also notice that if I use Great Magic Weapon and go to my View Status, my right weapon 1 goes up to 389, which is particularly good, but it only does 261. That's calculating resistances again. You know how it is. Alright. Basically, that's about it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about scaling in that general sense. Scaling, pretty easy to understand once you know it. If you upgrade your weapons with Titanite shards and stuff like that, you can make them better. Alright guys, that's all I had to tell you, and thank you, and hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Sayonara.